The Galactic Council's emergency session had been called within hours of the incident. Ambassador HFY of the Zilani Republic stood at the central podium, his crystalline features flickering with nervous energy as he addressed the assembled representatives from 47 star systems. Honored delegates, HFY began, his voice trembling through the universal translator. We are here to discuss the unprecedented response from the human colony of New Terra, following our standard territorial dispute resolution. Ambassador Chen Wei-Ming sat in the human delegation section, her face an unreadable mask. She had warned them. 3 months ago, when the Zilani had first made their claims on the mineral-rich asteroid belt surrounding New Terra, she had explicitly warned them about the consequences of threatening human settlements. The Zilani Republic maintains that our actions were within established galactic law, HFY continued. We issued standard evacuation notices to the illegal human settlements in the disputed Kepler 442 system. When they refused to comply, we merely demonstrated our resolve by targeting one of their, what do they call them? Daycare facilities with a warning shot. A collective shudder ran through the assembly. Even species that had never encountered humans before understood the gravity of that mistake. Fleet Admiral Sarah Rodriguez, commander of the human vessel Indomitable, had been having breakfast with her daughter via hologram when the Zilani warning shot vaporized the New Terra Children's Learning Center. The beam had struck during nap time. 18 children aged 4 to 7 had been in the building. The Zilani had called it a precision demonstration. The humans called it an act of war. What followed, HFY's voice grew smaller, was unexpected. Within 6 hours of the attack, Admiral Rodriguez had mobilized the entire human colonial fleet. Not just the military vessels, everything. Cargo haulers, mining ships, colony transports, even private yachts had been pressed into service. The humans had descended on the Zilani fleet like a swarm of angry insects, but it wasn't the numbers that had shocked the galaxy. It was the tactics. The Zilani had expected conventional warfare, organized fleet movements, strategic positioning, civilized rules of engagement. Instead, they faced something the galaxy had never seen before, a species that treated war not as politics by other means, but as a personal vendetta. Human ships had rammed Zilani cruisers at full acceleration, their crews ejecting at the last possible second. Mining vessels, their cargo holds filled with improvised explosives, had detonated themselves against Zilani command ships. A human grandmother, piloting a colony transport, had crashed her ship directly into the Zilani flagship's bridge, taking Admiral Vexthol with her. They used their civilian vessels as weapons, HFY whispered. They turned their own bodies into projectiles. They fought with a ferocity that defied all tactical analysis. The Zilani Republic's invasion fleet, one of the most technologically advanced armadas in their sector, had been completely annihilated in less than 12 hours. Not a single human ship had attempted to withdraw or negotiate. They had fought until either victory or death, with no middle ground. Ambassador Chen finally stood. Delegate HFY, you seem confused about what transpired. Allow me to clarify. The chamber fell silent. You attacked our children, Chen said, her voice cutting through the silence like a blade. On our world, we have a saying, you can take our lives, our freedom, our possessions. But the moment you threaten our young, you have declared war not just on our government, but on every single one of us personally. She gestured to the holographic display showing the aftermath of the battle. What you witnessed wasn't military doctrine. It was 700,000 human parents, grandparents, siblings, and neighbors deciding that your species represented an existential threat to human children everywhere. The Thanari delegate, a species known for their analytical nature, spoke up, but the tactical implications, using civilian vessels, kamikaze attacks, the complete disregard for self-preservation. It's militarily inefficient. Chen's smile was cold. Efficiency was never the goal. The message was the goal. What message? The Thanari pressed. That there is no force in this galaxy, no fleet, no empire, no alliance, that can threaten human children and expect to survive the response. We will use every ship, every weapon, every tool at our disposal. We will sacrifice our own lives without hesitation. We will reduce our own military effectiveness to 0 if necessary, because dead humans can't protect their children, but extinct enemies can't threaten them either. The chamber erupted in whispered conversations across dozens of species. The implications were staggering. The humans hadn't just won a battle. They had fundamentally changed the calculus of galactic warfare. Fleet Admiral Rodriguez's final transmission to the Zilani flagship, before her fighter craft performed its final attack run, had been broadcast across all military frequencies. This is for Maya, Connor, Lisa, James, Emma, David, and all the others. Remember this moment. This is what happens when you threaten Earth's children. The human tactical doctrine, if it could be called that, was simple. Escalate beyond all reason, beyond all logic, beyond all hope of survival. Make the cost of threatening human families so catastrophically high that no rational species would ever consider it. The Zilani Republic formally requests mediation, HFY said, his voice barely audible. We acknowledge our miscalculation. Chen remained standing. There will be no mediation. There will be no negotiation. The Zilani Republic will withdraw from all human-claimed systems immediately and permanently. You will pay reparations to the families of the 18 children you murdered, and you will ensure that every species in your sector understands exactly why your invasion fleet no longer exists. And if we refuse? Chen's expression didn't change. Then you'll discover what 7 billion humans on Earth do when they learn that someone has not only killed human children, but refused to accept responsibility for it. The vote to grant human territorial claims was unanimous. As the session concluded, the Thanari delegate approached Chen privately. Your species frightens us, he admitted. This level of commitment, it's unprecedented, Chen nodded. Good. Fear keeps children safe. And we will be as frightening as necessary to ensure that what happened to those 18 children never happens again. The galaxy learned 3 things that day. Humans were neither the strongest nor the most technologically advanced species among the stars, but they were the only species that treated threats to their young as a personal death sentence for their enemies, and that made them the most dangerous species of all.